Hey everybody and welcome back. So I wanted to talk a little bit about GME today, my thoughts on what will happen in the near future with it. Again, this is all my personal opinion, of course. This is not financial advice, but I would like to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the GameStop stock and what we could be seeing with it both in the short term and in the long term. Now, like I talked about in my last video about AMC, one of the biggest things that I think we'll have to sort of look out for here is whether or not Robinhood are going to pull what they've been pulling. If that is the case, if Robinhood and other places decide, hey, it's time to halt trading again and prevent people from buying and selling, then we might be seeing a bit of a problem in the near future. But I don't believe we saw much of that going on today. I know earlier in the morning, for like 10 minutes or so, all the big stocks, the meme stocks, were halted for a bit. But I don't think that is going to be imminent, at least for the next few days. Again, I very easily could be caught off guard, and that's what I would like to sort of caution against. But I don't think that for the next few days we will be seeing that, just because of the repercussions that companies like Robinhood saw last time they tried to do that. So I don't think we will be seeing that anytime soon. At least I hope not. Let's put it that way. Now, the big question on a technical level is, where will GameStop establish a level of support? Now, honestly, this is very hard to tell, because when you move back, I mean, you could tell, I mean, this stock really is not a particularly valuable stock. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say that. I mean, the company in general is not really a good future business model. From what we've been seeing over the past, give or take, maybe few months, it's leveled off roughly around like $30 or so. It definitely is better than it was when it was, I mean, early last year. It was down to like $3 or something like that. So I definitely don't see it being in that bad of a spot for the near future. Realistically, I think GameStop, evaluation-wise, is around a $20 stock. That's my immediate sort of valuation. Now, it's been hanging out at around 40, 45-ish for a while, and that would have been a very good entry point, considering what we've seen the past couple of days has been a very, very, very sharp surge all the way up until around 175-ish, which, of course, is not nearly what it was earlier in the month, but still not a particularly bad price to be at, especially if you entered somewhere around the $50-ish level. So I think that's roughly where it will hang, at least for a while. I don't see it going below 40 or so. Again, I believe its true valuation is around $20 really, but I do think that because it's been in the limelight so much and there's so much speculation about what will happen, I think it's established a level of relative support right around maybe $46, and I don't think we'll be seeing it go much lower than that for the near future. Now, tomorrow we'll really have to tell whether or not it is headed to the moon again, per se. It really depends on whether or not this short squeeze is successful, of course, but I do think on a sort of long-term level, we could be seeing this stock improving over time. Now, there is some talk about the esports entertainment group Gamble, possibly after a Citron research report saying that this should be acquired by GameStop, which would be fantastic, because obviously the switch to online gaming, a lot more online downloads, streaming, competitive gaming and stuff. I really do believe that esports will be the future of GameStop. You know, this is certainly with COVID and all that, the end of probably a lot of the remaining in-game or in-house, tournaments and things like that. I don't think that will be a big sector for a very long time, and it was struggling before COVID as well. Tournaments, play and trade, very popular gaming place where they would go in and have tournaments and stuff closed. So I do worry a little bit about whether or not GameStop will be able to sort of go to match, really, with mobile downloads and mobile gaming and everything like that. There is just so much that GameStop hasn't really adapted to. But I do believe that if they're able to do this and add 2 million unique gamers, that is an awful lot of people, an awful lot, and 1,000 locations, we could be seeing a revival one day. It's very, very possible. Again, Gamble, it seems, has the infrastructure to possibly bring back, either in-person or online gaming tournaments and whatnot. GameStop definitely doesn't. Their stores are not fitted to be able to do that. They're not designed, really, to host in-game tournaments, at least not nearly on the level it seems that Gamble has been doing. Because again, GameStop has always had, tournaments, things like that, events, stuff like that, but they've been diminishing over the past few years. And again, especially now, it doesn't seem that those will be coming back from GameStop anytime soon. So if they could acquire Gamble, that would be an absolutely fantastic idea, I believe, for the long-term future. But more than that, I think the biggest problem, again, is the fact that they're in an industry that is dying, or at least organically phasing itself out. Now, like I talked about in my last video with AMC, movie theaters will always hang around. People will always want to go to a movie theater. I don't see that. Just like libraries, just like certain staples of society, I don't see movie theaters ever really going out. I mentioned that Endgame, very pop Avatar, multi-billion-dollar movies always end up drawing people, and it becomes sort of a must-see. Now, the problem with GameStop is that whenever there's a must-have game, we don't see the GameStop stock surge in price because people are just buying that on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store or whatnot. So I don't believe that GameStop really has much of an industry left, which is unfortunate. But again, I think their biggest battle will be whether or not they can grow to adapt. Will they be able to sort of compensate for the fact that, yes, showing up in person to go buy video games really isn't ideal? Will they be able to compensate for that by creating perhaps their own online platform? Again, if they're able to acquire esports entertainment, who knows? Maybe GameStop could launch their own competitive tournament-based, gaming platform, either on their website or whatnot. I think that certainly is the future of GameStop and the future of gaming entertainment companies in general. I don't think that GameStop will see much of a future in in-person gaming and in-person competitions, and especially purchasing games. Again, there are just so many avenues. Even with Amazon, Amazon being such a titan in even the gaming industry as well. You don't really think about it, but there are tons of people who just order games from Amazon, who'd order games from plenty of other places if they happen to want the disc and want the physical copy of it. GameStop certainly has heated competition in that sector as it is. And on top of that, between the Xbox Store, the PlayStation Store, Steam, on top of all, the in-person competition, we're also seeing online competition, which is bigger than ever before. Mobile games like COD Mobile and tons of other games. I mean, there are a ton of mobile video games that are just absolutely soaring in popularity that people are not going to GameStop to purchase. People are not getting involved in GameStop in any way, shape, or form to be able to play those games. So all around, I do think that this will, once this sort of run exhausts itself, if we're lucky, it could level off maybe around 60 or 70 for a good while. But realistically, I think it's headed back to around 48 or 50. It just depends as to whether or not this will be successful. The market volume, it depends really whether or not people decide this is safe enough to just buy it up tomorrow. So that definitely is worth a thought. I'm interested to hear what you all have to say down below in the comments. If you all are new, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to drop a like on the video, and drop it down below in the comments, of course, what your personal opinions are on whether or not GameStop will sustain this level which it is testing here, which I just don't really believe. As much as I hate to say it, I really believe it's headed more to around $50 or so. So that's my personal sort of assessment of GameStop. Hope you all have enjoyed. Make sure to drop a like. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I'll catch you all in the next one.